Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another lovely, wonderful vid. In this one, I'm going to be talking about my favorite music of 2008. And as I go through this list, you're going to notice two things. One is it's, of course, going to pretty much be all hard rock and metal. And for lack of a better term, most of it is just going to be stuff that I like, that had risen previous to 2008. So there's not going to be a whole lot of groundbreaking stuff or change from 98 to 2008 as far as what I was really into in 2008. And when we eventually get to 2018, probably at the end of this year, it'll pretty much be a continuation of that. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into it. Of course, I'm going to start off with the music that I shamefully do not own in a physical format. And we're just going to run through those. Then I'll show off the CDs that I actually do have. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the ones that I don't own, my favorite albums included Slipknot, All Hope Is Gone. I know that's a very the metal community is very divided on Slipknot. A lot of people hate them. Personally, I enjoy their music, but that's just me. So moving on. The next one was Alice Cooper, Along Came a Spider. That is definitely one of my favorite modern Alice Cooper records. It's absolutely fantastic in my opinion. The next one is Falconer, Among Beggars and Thieves. They're a really, really good power slash progressive metal group. Next one is Toxic Holocausts, An Overdose of Death. They basically are I would say, fairly modern sounding thrash band with some, death metal influence. After that, Brainstorm's Downburst. Following that, we had Volbeat, Guitar Gangsters, and Cadillac Blood. I'm not sure if that was their breakthrough album, but it's definitely something I really enjoy. The next one after that is Black Tide's Light from Above. That was Black Tide's debut album, and I really, really enjoyed that. It's basically, for lack of a better term, classic sounding kind of, upbeat metal, but I really like that one. I didn't really like what they produced after that, but I thought their debut was really good. After that, we have Cynic, Traced in Air. After that, we have Dragon Force's Ultra Beatdown. After that, we have Warbringers, War Without End. And after that, we have Gojira, The Way of All Flesh. I really enjoyed all of those albums quite a bit. Yeah, I know I don't have them to show, but of course, this being 2008, come on, stuff wasn't too hard to grab. So anyway, now I'm going to show off the albums that I do own in physical format, and I will eventually, pick those up. Just to have them. So anyway, this is in no particular order, by the way. First one I'm going to show off is Warrell Dane's Praises to the War Machine. This was Warrell Dane's first solo album, per se. And if you are a fan of Nevermore, you should have this album. It's absolutely fantastic. It's just a killer album, period. Of course, we know Warrell Dane recently died, and a posthumous solo album is coming out, and I will more than likely pick that up as well. But showing this first because it was the first one on the pile. Next one up is Communix, Payment of Existence. Communic, I think, is a criminally underrated progressive, very heavy band. Again, they don't sound like Nevermore at all, really. But how would I describe their music? It's really heavy and really progressive. And if you like again, I know that I hate to say this, they don't sound like Nevermore. But if you like Nevermore, I would recommend at least checking out Communic. You would probably like them. Following that up, we got Pyramazes, Immortal. This had Matt Barlow from Iced Earth singing on this. And it's a million times better than the Iced Earth album that came out that year, because Framing Armageddon Part 2 came out. That didn't make this list. This absolutely does. This is an absolutely fantastic album, and really showcases Matt's talents really well. And the music is absolutely great on this. Following this up, now I'm going to show you a double CD, but one of these albums came out in 2008. We're going to be talking about Death Angel's Killing Season. Absolutely fantastic album by an awesome classic thrash band. Friggin' just excellent. Now we're going to show off a debut album from definitely, in my opinion, one of the best re-thrash bands that there is. In fact, they're quickly becoming one of my favorite bands overall, and that is Evil's Enter the Grave. This is absolutely a fantastic release by, in my opinion, a pretty fantastic band. And lastly, I'm going to show off Testament's The Formation of Damnation. The Formation of Damnation. This is an absolutely killer album. Fan-flippin-tastic. One of Testament's best, in my opinion. So now I am going to give an honorable mention here to one album that I don't own that I'm not going to show. And this album, I think it's pretty good, but I don't listen to it nearly as much now as when it came out, and I'm going to just reference Metallica's Death Magnetic. I think Hardwired is a far superior album to Death Magnetic, but Death Magnetic was important because really that was Metallica, for lack of a better term, coming back in the right direction after so many, after being in the wilderness for 20-some years. In 2008, Metallica kind of swung back in the right direction musically in a big way with Death Magnetic. It's not as good as Hardwired, but it was a giant step in the right direction. And I'm going to show another album right now that I don't know if this is one of my favorites of 2008 or not yet, because just to be honest, and it's a little shameful to say this, I'm not super familiar with it, but I'm going to be listening to it very soon as part of the series of videos I'm doing. I've just got to get through the rest of the stuff till I get to this. And I'm going to show off here Judas Priest, Nostradamus. I am familiar with some of the songs on this, and I like what I'm familiar with fairly well. But I'm going to be honest, I haven't listened to this thing nearly as much as I have the other music that I've shown off and talked about. But as part of me doing my Maiden and Priest videos, this is definitely going to get listened to and analyzed, and I'll figure out exactly just how much I like it. So that's pretty much it as far as what I had to say about 2008. I'm sure, knowing me and my musical tastes, probably nothing remotely surprising that was on that list. Sadly, 2008 was kind of similar to the modern era. There's not a whole lot of super innovative stuff going on, and just honestly a whole lot of older bands that have been hanging on and doing good stuff, which is great, but it would be nice to get some new stuff. At least we did have Evil in there, right? That was new. And Toxic Holocaust was a much newer band back then than they are now, so I guess that's something. There were a few little glimpses of newness in 2008, which is good. I mean, there was stuff in there that was kind of new. I think when we get to 2018, though, I'm not for sure yet, but yeah, I think there's probably not going to be any newness, considering that just on top of my mind, one of my favorite albums so far this year, of course, is Judas Priest's Firepower. They're hardly a new band, but anyway, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. As always, if you like this, thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.